Has getting a PSA 10 in 2025 just become too hard?
Yes, but not entirely for the reasons you may be thinking. Overall, this seems to be a common topic about PSA and their grading standards and their consistency. While PSA did recently update their standards for grading and specifically centering on the front of the card, now it needs to be 55-45, while previously you could get to 60-40. That alone is going to make new cert PSA 10s more difficult to achieve. However, there are so many other factors that go into what may be a PSA 10. Sometimes I think PSA takes a little too much heat when it comes to their inconsistencies, just because I do think that people fail to completely inspect their cards before sending them in, and they just assume that pack fresh equals PSA 10. While there may be some truth to the joke about, whoever's grading your cards that day depends on what you're going to get, we have to understand that the quality of English Pokemon cards is just not that good. I pulled 5 151 SIR Charizards, and I only got the PSA 10 on one of them. And the centering on this one was borderline top heavy, so I consider it lucky that I got a PSA 10 on this one. And honestly, when I'm ripping packs or even viewing singles, it seems to be one thing or the other that might prevent it from being a PSA 10. It never fails. It seems that if the card is perfectly centered on the front, then the back is going to have 2 or 3 dings on the corners, maybe edge, and vice versa. If the back of the card is super clean, no whitening to be found anywhere, then that card is going to be top or bottom heavy or even left-right heavy. And that's not to mention the minor things that you almost need like a magnifying glass to see on the surface, even the edges, corners. It's very difficult to spot some of those things. Here's a Team Rockets Moltres that I pulled. If I remember correctly, the centering was perfect, but if you look at the back, you almost want to say that it's lightly played. You can see that corner there. I'll take a more detailed picture. But as you can see, this card is pretty banged up. There's like 5 white spots on the back, whether it's the corner, edge, or whatever. It's a pack fresh card that I think would be lucky to get a PSA 8. Another card I pulled fresh, along with some other Destined Rivals that I opened in a specific booster box, they all seem to have a similar defect or issue, whatever you want to call it, at the top left edge, and this card was pretty perfect besides that, so I don't think it would be a PSA 10. But their overall point is just that the quality control, or whatever you want to call it, for Pokemon cards is just not good. So if you're going to be sending in cards to PSA, make sure you're doing a pre-grading process. I have some videos on that, or leave some questions if you have some about that process. That's going to be your best bet to really get those PSA 10s. Don't just blindly send in cards. Save yourself some money. And again, PSA is far from perfect. I'm sure a lot of their inconsistency criticism is very valid. Just make sure you're pre-grading so you give yourself the best chance at getting that PSA 10.